Valerie, you're up.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Valerie Young. I am a single parent of two wonderful children, Virtuous and Sultan. As you can tell, I spelled my daughter's name Virtuous different. It's basically virtuous like a virtuous woman, so I was inspired to spell her name like such. Today I'll be talking to you guys about parent engagement strategies to support kindergarten readiness. So I have a story. My story is really straight to the point. I served in the military approximately 10 years. Within that 10 years, I came home. I had to adjust to society, and with that, it was a challenging part to do. I eventually sought help because I figured my mentality, it was some issues dealing with that. So I was down, I was I was diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So I came home and I was really messed up mentally, physically, and so forth. By the time I came home, which was in 2010, I knew I had adjustment issues, I had communication issues, and what have you. I eventually had my two children. With that, having two children, going back to Dr. Mann's slide, it was emotional and it was traumatizing. My children were traumatized by being in a single parent household, and it was something I wanted to learn how to connect with my children with, because just because I suffer with PTSD, it doesn't mean my children have to be a victim of that. So the first slide basically is my children's name, and it's basically items in our neighborhood. I live in an urban society. I hail from East St. Louis. We have leaves and flowers and so forth. And what we did, we went on a nature walk. We went on a nature walk, and we found everything out the neighborhood, and we basically pasted it to paper. So what I wanted to do was show the children that because you live in an urban society, you don't have to basically succumb to that. It's beautiful things in the nature and in the neighborhood, what have you. I joined Head Start. I got in Head Start because I am a firm believer of homeschooling. I wanted to have that intimate relationship with my children. But like I said, I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and it was kind of challenging for me to communicate with them. Now, my children was always attached to me because by me being a single parent, you know, they had communication issues and behavior issues and so forth. So a person was going around in the neighborhood and she was handing out pamphlets. When she handed out pamphlets, I saw SIUE Head Start out of East St. Louis. I read over the pamphlet, I researched it because at the time I really did not know much about Head Start, but I heard about it word through mouth, but I didn't go in depth with understanding the program. Once I read about it, once I researched it, I eventually got involved in the program. The next slide is my son, Sultan. The boy, his name is Sultan, like I said, and Sultan in Arabic basically means king, and this is my daughter, Virtuous. This picture was taken when I found out that I was selected to be Parent of the Year in the Regions 5. With that being said, although my Head Start was for my children, it was also for me because Head Start offers so many different program options as far as comprehensive help, as far as everything that we can do to be involved. So please don't think Head Start is for the children, it's for the parent also. So it's basically, no one can tell you how to be a parent, but there are options in which we can guide each other. And in this instance, seeing that I had a mental issue, I was guided. My home visitor at the time, her name was Sandy Beaver. Now, my daughter Virtuous, she was probably 6 years old when she joined the program. My son, however, was 1 year old. So she came into the home and the children were really kind of attached to my hip. So with that being said, she provided patience. And that's really wonderful to embrace the person wholeheartedly, yet professionally. As Spring talked about, there are two options with Head Start. My program out of East St. Louis offers the center-based option where the children go out into a socialization program, or they offer the home-based option, which is when the home visitor comes into the home and interacts with you and the family. So that's what Sandy Beaver did for me and the children. She came into the home and she interacted with me and the children, which is powerful because 9 times out of 10, the children are really home with you most of the days, even when they leave. So she can use the home to facilitate the things that we can do as far as cognitive, counting, to have the children interact with the counting and reading and learning and so forth. This slide right here, as my children progressed in Head Start, I decided to join the Illinois Parent Ambassador team, basically. And this is our class from 2015 to 2016. And I love this picture. It's about all of us coming together in unity over one common goal. And that's basically preparing our children to advance to kindergarten. And with Head Start, you can do that. You know, we are basically vessels doing what we're supposed to do to provide services for our children. With the Illinois Parent Ambassador, what we do, we go out to our legislators. We try to inform them about Head Start and how powerful it is to the community and how we can keep it federally funded versus state funded. With federally funded, we'll have options to do everything we can to open more programs if need be, provide everything we can. Also, you know, we can go back to our policy council and we can tell them how we did on an upper level. We can go back to our parent committee and we can express to them how it's important to reach out to our legislative, because that's very important. This picture is me with my children at the park. We had a socialization. And as I talked about earlier, the socialization basically, if you're home-based, the socialization is basically to have home-based children go out to centers to socialize with children. So it allows the home-based children to have basically best of both worlds. So as I mentioned earlier, my kids were basically introverts. They basically cling to me. So with the help of Miss Sandy Beaver and her patience, she allowed the children to open up a little bit. She allowed them to, hey, it's okay to express yourselves. And that's what they needed, you know, and that's what I needed. She definitely provided resources for me with my services mentally with the post-traumatic stress disorder. She definitely provided services for me in regards to communicating and reaching out to my children. So what I'm saying in essence is the kids put forth their best effort and I put forth my best efforts. And that's basically what Head Start did for me. That's why I joined the policy council and I ran for president. That's why I joined the Illinois Parent Ambassador, because my children showed me, hey, mommy, I can go all in. What can you do? Can you show me that? So if they gave their all, I figured I would give my all and climb to the top and give the best of me as I could. This is my daughter, Virtuous. She basically is going to kindergarten this year. Her birthday was late. So with that being said, she kind of got held back. So she's still working on her reading, her language development and so forth. And she's doing a great job. And I love my baby girl. I can't express that. Like I said, before Head Start, you know, she was very close-knitted. She was very tight towards me, but we embraced each other as a family. It was basically a learning effort, and I cannot express that. I basically have a story to tell real quick. So with my post-traumatic stress disorder, I have like angry outbursts, and you know, it's not really directed towards the children, but it's just I'm out there with my mentality, and I don't mean to be, and I'm very militant with my children. So I tend to yell at them, I tend to lash out at them, and it's not really them, it's just me trying to cope with my illness. So Miss Sandy, she took her time with me. She gave me researches. She gave me little practical exercises. I tried them, and I embraced it. One time we had a socialization event, and it was time to go. So I was like, you know, Virtuous, Fulton, it's time to go. Let's go. and they were still playing, and I was like, oh my goodness, in my head I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to yell at them in public. But eventually, what I did, I got down on one knee and I spoke in a tone in which they understood. And I said, Virtuous, Fulton, it's time to go, guys. And they basically ran to me. You know, they ran and got their coat. They ran to me and they was like, okay, mommy. And in the back, I could see Sandy was like, oh my God, she finally gets it. So with that story, I needed patience to deal with what I'm going through. I do receive help with the VA. I do receive help with the Head Start staff. They're great support systems. The Illinois ambassador, they are wonderful to me. This is them when they first started. They were at a socialization event. They were just having fun, eating and drinking and interacting with the kids, basically. These three pictures right here, this one is very special, the one where it say 50 years of opportunity. As we know, Lyndon B. Johnson basically started Head Start. This in the center is his granddaughter. And to meet her, it was a wonderful privilege. It was an honor. She gave us close, in-depth information about how her grandfather wanted to do the program, how he was eager about the program. She talked about Lady Bird, and it was very powerful to see her in Washington, D.C. This picture up here is basically us receiving our Illinois ambassador program. Certificate. We finished the program, and it was very powerful. Over here is basically all of us. We did a presentation in Springfield. In the blue shirt is Kay Strand, and this is Yasima. And we basically had a great time. We all came together. We provided teamwork in regards to what we were trying to do. And it was really heartfelt because our interests, in essence, were our children. This picture is us in DC with our senator in Illinois, Dick Durbin. We talked to him. We expressed about our views. We expressed what could be better. We expressed how it's pertinent to make Head Start federal. And he was just a great listener. And I was definitely appreciative of what he's done for his part in Head Start and the program. So we had a great time seeing him in DC. This picture was based out of Tennessee, I believe, and what we wanted to focus on is if we put in $1 per child, it will basically help the program and fund what we're trying to do with their emotional and social development in regards to their cognitive behavior, their communication skills, and so forth. So this was a wonderful gesture to the NHSA, which is National Head Start Association. My son Sultan, he got out of Head Start, I believe, a year or two ago. He's now in first grade. He recently did a science project, which was a lava lamp. And I was really proud of him. And throughout the reading and the teaching and the learning and so forth, he transitioned out of Head Start. And look at him now, guys. Look at him now. He's first place. I'm basically saying overall, Head Start works. And I thank you guys for all you have done. And, you know, without the children, without the parent support, without the staff support, I don't believe Head Start could be where they are now. Thank you guys very much. Oh, that's my daughter. She's smiling. She spelled her name, guys.